Good afternoon, Doctor. Our research title is The Effect of Mother Tongue Interference in English Language Phonetics Among Chinese EFL Learners. And our group members are Yajing and Diao Yingying. And next part is our introduction, the background of our study. With over 1.5 billion English speakers globally, English has become the universal language. However, due to the negative transfer of native language or phonetic attributes, the great majority of people fail to acquire the pronunciation that is similar to their mother tongue. In second language learning, the phenomenon of mother tongue interference substantially affects pronunciation and linguistic competency. The number of Chinese learners among English learners may be possibly the biggest. Despite years of formal study, interference from Mandarin phonetics may lead to long-lasting problems in English pronunciation by Chinese EFL learners. And next is our problem statement. Although previous studies have examined the phonological errors made by Chinese EFL learners from the perspectives of language and teaching, there is still need for a large-scale empirical research that quantifies the impact and the persistence of native language on different phonological abilities at all levels. The majority of present research is small-scale and confined to beginning, focused just on partial or depending on subjective judgment. And the theory we chose in our study is the speech learning model, SLM. SLM focuses on how the perception and production of sounds in a second language are influenced by the first or native language. Affiliate claims that learners' ability to perceive and produce sounds in the target language is influenced by their age, motivation, cognitive abilities, and the degree of similarities between the native language and the target language. So our study uses SLM as the theoretical framework and focuses on investigating the interference of mother tongue on Chinese EFL learners' phonetic skills. And so come up with our research objectives and questions. Our research aims to explore to what extent mother tongue interference are going to have an effect on Chinese EFL learners' phonetic skills, whether Chinese will have a negative or positive transfer on their English phonetic aspect, and what are the possible reasons of the Chinese EFL learners' phonetic difficulties caused by their mother tongue interference. And also we want to find out the main reasons of such conditions. So we came up with two research questions. First one, to what extent does mother tongue interference affect Chinese EFL learners' phonetic skills? And second one, what are the possible reasons that caused such interference? So the literature review part, we analyzed from two aspects. The first aspect is from mother tongue interference. Mother tongue is also called a first language or native language. It refers to the language one learns from birth as part of his very early growth, and not from phonetics perspective. There are many other mother tongue aspects that will interfere the Chinese EFL learners' learning, such as lexical errors, syntactic errors, discourse errors, tense usage, subject-predict disagreement, and clause handling. And the second aspect is from causes of those interference. Adam found out three reasons that these able learners cannot pronounce some English morphemes correctly. The first reason is the inexistence of some English sounds in a Bibo language. The second reason is that these errors are caused by the quality of learning or teaching. And the third reason is the difference of rhythm between English and the Bibo language. And in the second study, the Hewlett researchers determined the fact that among the 6 factors that affect students' English pronunciation, they are native language, age, experience, innate phonetic ability, identity and language ego, motivation, and concern for good pronunciation. And he found out the most important factor influencing learners' pronunciation is the inexistence of English songs in their mother tongue, but Taktoba language. And next come to our methodology part. From research design, we employed a mixed method to conduct the research. The data was collected and analyzed using both quantitative and qualitative methods. A mixed method provides a systematic way of collecting data. It helps to investigate the extent of the problem by focusing on a very small area of the study. And also it involves the combination of methods of data collection, which will help in data gathering. And next is our participant. We randomly chose 13 Chinese EFL learners at to participate in the study. All of these learners have at least 10 years of English learning experience, so they have sufficient English learning experience. They have a basic understanding of their English pronunciation, and they are able to evaluate their own pronunciation. And next is our instrument. Let's welcome our partner.
For instruments, one questionnaire was distributed to Chinese EFL learners at and the students received the questionnaires via Google Forms. The questionnaire in the study by Yajing and others was adapted in the study. Also, the 5-point Likert scale was used in the questionnaire. A 5-point Likert scale is a commonly used survey rating system where respondents express their level of agreement or disagreement with a statement using 5 points, typically ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The midpoint is usually labeled as neutral. It provides a simple and sufficient and efficient way to measure attitude or opinions on a scale. So it provides a unified approach to study the views and opinions in the survey. The questionnaire is divided into 3 parts. The first part was designed to answer the first research question. It contains 7 questions, mainly focusing on the participants' personal English pronunciation learning experience, as well as their perception and evaluation of the interference of their mother tongue on English pronunciation. The second part was designed to answer the second research question. It contained 3 questions, through which the researchers obtained the possible factors that interfere with the Chinese EFL learners' English pronunciation by their mother tongue, such as education, motivation, etc. And the last part contains 2 open-ended questions. They were used to complement the first 2 parts. They ask participants about their own perceptions of their mother tongue interference and provided some methods to improve phonetic skills. The process of collecting data is completed online. The researchers sent the questionnaire link to the participants via WeChat or WhatsApp. Prior to commencing with the questionnaire, participants will be provided with a guide to aid in their comprehension of the study. The quantitative data obtained from the Likert scale response in the questionnaire was analyzed by using descriptive statistics. The number of each scale was calculated in order to understand the overall extent of the interference of mother tongue. The qualitative data obtained from the open-ended questions. The responses were analyzed in a semantic analysis. This involved running through the responses, identifying common themes or ideas, and noting the frequency with which these themes emerge. This process enables the researchers to better understand what participants think about the mother tongue interference. This is the table of our findings. The table shows the proportion of each scale for all questions. But here we listed 3 example questions for quantitative analysis and 1 question for qualitative analysis. Question 3, do you find it challenging to overcome mother tongue interference in pronunciation? We set this question to explore the extent to which participants believe their mother tongue interference with their English pronunciation. 69%, that is over 50% of the participants, hold a great attitude that they have difficulties overcome the mother tongue interference, and 15.4% of them think that their mother tongue causes no difficulty in their pronunciation. Question 6 is, before speaking in English, do you first think in your mother tongue? We set this question to explore whether learners tend to copy their native language, thereby causing mother tongue interference. The result shows that over 92% of the participants do think in their mother tongue before speaking in English, and only 7.7% of them have a positive transfer between Chinese and English. Question 9 is, do you think teachers play a vital role in correcting pronunciation problems? We set this question to explore whether participants believe teaching had an impact on learners' pronunciation learning. However, unlike the results of most previous studies, nearly 50% of the participants hold neutral and disagree attitude. This shows the decrease of the importance of teachers' role in correcting pronunciation problems. For the open-ended questions, we selected one question to present. What do you think of the idea that the mother tongue has a great influence on the pronunciation of EFL learners? We received 13 responses. One participant wrote, I have no idea. One participant think communication is a priority. Two participants think it depends on learners' understanding and who the learners speak to. Others mainly hold the agree attitude. They failed in many influential aspects such as phonetics, phonemes, lexical, grammatical, pronunciation, and nearly all the participants think accent is the most significant reason in mother tongue interference.
And for the conclusion part, from implications, we found out three possible reasons. First one, for EFL learners, the study mentioned different aspects of mother tongue interference in English phonetics, and also highlighted the importance of self-learning ability. And for teachers, the teachers can provide opportunities to expose themselves to the targeted languages by sharing their ways of thinking, which may reduce mother tongue interference. And compared with the related studies among Abibo and Indonesian mother tongue interference, the Chinese research field is more thorough and comprehensive. And for recommendations, the longitudinal observations are particularly suggested for quantifying learning improvements following targeted pronunciation coaching. And for future study, it can also expand samples to languages other than Mandarin for contrastive examination of common and different first language impacts. And here are our references, and thanks for your attention.